morning and welcome to the Daily Bible Podcast. My name is William Hemsworth. Hope everyone is having a great morning so far. Hope everyone also had a very Merry Christmas. Hope you enjoyed spending time with your family. And I know my family and I traditionally go to church on Christmas. So if you did, God bless you, and I hope you enjoyed that as well. Hope you met a lot of new people that normally don't go to church and this is going to sound harsh, but treated them with the dignity and respect that they deserve, so that they are welcome back. Well, today we are going to look at Matthew chapter 3, verses 7 through 8. We're continuing with the narrative of John the Baptist. And here John has some very harsh words. So at this point, John is baptizing at the River Jordan. And here he has some visitors. So here we go. Matthew chapter 3, verses 7 and 8 say, "But when he saw many Pharisees and Sadducees coming for baptism, he said to them, 'You brood of vipers, who warned you to flee from the wrath to come? Bear fruit worthy of repentance.'" John is pulling no punches here. He sees the Pharisees and the Sadducees. So those that don't know, the Sadducees were a group in ancient Israel. They made up a good portion of the Sanhedrin, but they only believed in what's called the Pentateuch, which is the first 5 books of the Old Testament, or the 5 books of Moses. And that's Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. And they also didn't believe in the resurrection. And that's why they were sad, you see. I'm just kidding. That's a little lame joke I like to tell when it comes to that part. Now, the Pharisees, on the other hand, they believed the Old Testament. The prophets, the Pentateuch, all those writings, the historical books, Chronicles. They also observed what was called the oral law, because they believed that. And this is corroborated by history, is that there was a oral law also passed down among generations from rabbi to rabbi and so forth. So John is calling them a brood of vipers, and it means exactly what you think it means. When we call someone a snake today, we're saying that they can't be trusted, they're hypocritical, etc. This is the same meaning that John is giving to the Pharisees and the Sadducees that came to him for baptism. They're saying you really don't mean what you're trying to convey by coming here today. They're putting on a show for the people, when in reality they were just coming to check up on John. They weren't trying to do anything else. In verse 8 it says, "Bear fruit worthy of repentance." So they had a big talk. They observed all the rituals. But their life didn't bear that fruit of repentance. It didn't bear the fruit of repentance. So they were putting on, it could have been that they were doing these things, observing the law and everything because it's what was expected, that they didn't really believe it, so to speak. Okay? So those are just my takes on these 2 verses. And we're going to see this theme play out later on in Jesus' public ministry too. With the Pharisees and Sadducees doing things just for show of it. So this helps lay the foundation for later on in Matthew's Gospel. Well, God bless you guys. Have a great day. We'll continue on tomorrow into verse 8. We're about halfway through chapter 3 at this point. Hope you've learned something from this podcast so far. If you have, I just ask that you go on to iTunes or wherever you listen to the podcast, and please leave it a rating and a review. It helps it be found in search engines, so maybe other people can benefit from this podcast as well. And God bless you guys. Have a great day, and thank you again. Thank you so much again for listening.